This is an informative slideshow tutorial about photography by Mandarin Duck. Hello my sweet honey bunnies and welcome to Mandarin Ducky. Today we are going to discuss photography and editing. This is going to be quite a long tutorial, but I will try to make it as content as possible. I am not a genius and perhaps I know only a few great ways of taking pictures, which I learned during my creative journey. So this is not a professional educational tutorial, but more my experience and my knowledge that I am more than happy to share with you. Feel free to pause this video whenever you need to write something down, and remember that full script is available in PDF format for you in description below. Prepare some pens and paper and let us start. Preparing for photography. Step 1. Light. The way you lighten up your pieces before you take a picture is extremely important, and in my opinion this is the main thing. Let's take a look at these two pictures. Well, I think you don't need a hint to understand which picture is taken in the dark with a flashlight and which one is made using daylight. So please, let's make sure we are shooting during the day. Never shoot at night, and please don't use your camera flash. From now on, promise yourself, just promise yourself, I will start using my flash again when I will know how to take pictures without it. Okay? Step 2. Prepare your photography surface. Here I mean your jewelry or clay artwork background. Depending on what you are shooting and how big it is, there could be few options. Start with simplest. White, black or grey backgrounds use almost any polymer clay creations or any jewelry, especially because clay items are so vibrant and colourful that neutral tones will complement them the most and enhance the colors of your artwork. Try not to go for crazy prints, wallpaper patterns or rough textures. They definitely are great, but only a professional photographer can work with these properly. I class myself as self-taught user, and right now I'm only in the beginning of learning these more complicated techniques. Step 3. Positioning your setup. Place your background with your items on it next to your window. We are going to shoot in daylight. Daylight is the best for beginner photography, and it's easy to play with, and it does not require any investment as such. Daylight is free, right? At least for now. Try to avoid direct sunlight, as it will lead to having very dark and long shadows. We don't want that. If you have to shoot in direct sunlight, try to cover your window with a curtain or use a transparent film for that part of your window where this naughty sun shines through. Your camera. Your camera is your best friend, and it will always work for you if you use it right. It is always wise to invest in a good camera, but if you can't yet, start saving and practice with what you have. When I get frustrated when I haven't got enough skills, tools, money, I just calm myself down and say, let's just work with what we have and perfect our skills until we can afford more. Right, so now you have your background and your daylight. Your item is positioned on it and daylight is nicely doing its job. Another must you should have is a tripod. Yes, if you want to avoid shaky, blurry pictures, buy a tripod. I bought mine for $30 on eBay. You will be so happy when you will start using it. Now I think we are ready to shoot. Take your first shot. How does it look like? Sometimes you notice that it has weird colors. If so, check your white balance. White balance is a camera option that is available on any camera, even on those that cost less than $30, I don't know. If you go to your camera settings, you can see little cloud, sun, outdoor, indoor icons. They all can become your best friends if you know how to use it. So ask yourself, where am I and what is going on around me? Am I at home next to the window in a cloudy day? Then use a cloud symbol. Is it sunny day? Use sun symbol. Position your piece of art on your background and try to take some pictures with different white balance settings, and then take a look at them and choose the one that looks most natural. This will be your correct option. Now, let's say we're already set up our white balance, but picture is still looking a bit too dark. Then it's time for exposure. Exposure is a lovely camera setting, but not all of the cameras have it. If you are using SLR camera, then you are fine. Exposure depends on 3 settings, which are aperture, shutter speed and ISO. It's a constant game really of making all three settings right according to each other, and if you've gone that far, you may also read this very handy post about all three settings. They are explained in this post perfectly. Link is provided in description. But this is all complicated, you will say, and I agree. We should only know that if our picture turns out too bright, we have too much light and we need to move our setup a bit further away from the source of light. If it's too dark, perhaps we need to move it closer to the window, and maybe we need some extra source of light or some light reflectors. Light reflectors can be quite handy and they don't cost much. You can also make a handmade one from foil or buy some mirrored paper. I personally just own this piece of mirrored paper and I'm very happy with the results. There is also such parameter as ISO. ISO is your camera's light sensitivity. For old film cameras, it meant how sensitive your camera film was. I remember buying 200 for good sunny weather and 400 for dark rainy days. In digital camera it's the same, but instead of film we have a digital card and matrix. So when I'm shooting on sunny day and my room is lit up with light, I use ISO 200. When it's darker with clouds outside, I could go for 400. Anything more than 400 will start adding annoying so-called little noise, which looks like lots of colorful dots on your picture's darker parts. This is why I don't suggest to shoot at nighttime or with a table lamp. Usual camera will never handle this and you will end up with horrible, noisy, flashy pictures. Only SLR cameras can deal with darkness fine, and this is where those complicated exposure settings come in. As we don't want to make our lives harder, we will just stick to daylight. Simple. Lightbox. I personally don't use Lightbox since I don't need it, but I have one, just in case. Lightbox is great for those situations when you are taking pictures of reflective shiny objects. If you don't want your jewelry to reflect everything that's around you, Lightbox is your choice. It will also diffuse the light and make it really soft, which is good as well. Lightboxes are not expensive and they can be easily purchased online. I think this is it and we are ready to shoot. Let's remember everything in few quick steps. First, set up your perfect place for shooting. Next, make sure you're using nice daylight, not direct sunlight. Use a tripod if you can. Set up correctly white balance, so look around yourself and check the weather outside your window. Make sure exposure is correct, which means you have just enough light to shoot. Check your ISO and snap away. Learning photography is a road full of experimentation, and some things may or may not work for you. I hope my suggestions were useful and you will improve your photography quality a lot. Please follow the link in description to learn how to easily edit your pictures. Subscribe for more updates, and if you think that this video is useful and easy to follow, please share it everywhere so that others can learn from it too. Thank you for watching this video and good luck with your projects. Bye bye!